You clicked into this video because you are just sick and tired of feeling anxiety. And I relate to that. Every single day is a journey, right? It's a battle. It can cause headaches. It can cause tension throughout the body. It can cause you a lot of things about anxiety that can be so frustrating. The biggest thing though that's frustrating about anxiety is wanting to get rid of it and not being able to. Thank you so much for clicking into this video. I'm so happy to have you here today. If you're in this video, you're struggling with anxiety and you just want to get rid of it. You want to do something about it, and I relate to that. You've come to the right place. So I've got a great lesson for you here in a second, but the quick background on me is that I am a mental health advocate, I'm a public speaker, I'm a college success coach, and the author of the mental health book, You're Not Alone, which is a guide for 18 to 24-year-olds to overcome anxiety and depression. And I wrote this book because it's everything that I wish I would have known before I experienced the onset of a brain disorder known as obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD, where the core symptoms were severe anxiety, deep depression, and thoughts of suicide. And every video that I put out, you can kind of click around through my channel, is designed to help you get your life on track to overcome stress, overwhelm, anxiety, depression, and thoughts of suicide so that you can live your best life. I wanted that for myself all those years ago. I've achieved that, and I want to give that gift to you. Now, the quick disclaimer is that I am not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I am an individual with a lived experience. So all of these videos should be looked at as supplemental resources to professional help by going to see a therapist, by going to a general practitioner, by going to a psychiatrist, right? So you can look at me as a guide to help you on that journey. I'm certainly here for you every step of the way, but I'm not in replacement of therapy. So here is the lesson of the day. You clicked into this video because you are just sick and tired of feeling anxiety. And I relate to that. Like, every single day is, when you struggle with anxiety, is a journey, right? It's a battle. It can cause headaches. It can cause tension throughout the body. It can cause you paralysis. It can cause you discomfort. It can cause you to not want to leave your apartment, not leave your house. It can cause you not to want to interact with people. It, generally speaking, can wear you down, right? So there's a lot of things about anxiety that can be so frustrating. The biggest thing though that's frustrating about anxiety is wanting to get rid of it and not being able to. And I'm not going to sit here and claim that my anxiety is completely gone, that I'm completely cured, that I don't experience it, that I am 100% fine, and I'm gonna give you the secret. But what I am gonna teach you today is how to live symbiotically with your anxiety. So the first thing that I want you to understand is that when somebody's experiencing anxiety, when you're experiencing anxiety, what is the messaging that's going through your head? What are the thoughts, right? Well, you're probably experiencing some thoughts that are actually causing you to experience the anxiety, right? For somebody with OCD, that could be intrusive thoughts. For somebody with generalized anxiety, that could be thoughts, anxiety around homework assignments, work, friends, relationships, a multitude of things, your health, right? So you've got these thoughts that are causing the anxiety, and then you've got an additional set of thoughts that are creating friction within the body, the mind, because you want to get rid of the anxiety. So the first thing that you have to understand is that these are the two trains of thoughts that are typically running through the body, right? You've got the thoughts that are causing the anxiety, and then you've got the thoughts that are causing the friction in the body, right? That tension, because you want so desperately to get rid of the anxiety. So what can you do about that? Well, there's a wonderful tool called Mindfulness and meditation, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But there's a wonderful tool called Mindfulness that allows you to learn how to observe your thoughts, observe your feelings without having to do absolutely anything about them. And the way that I liken this to is, I want you to imagine yourself standing on the bank of a river. And there's a river with a strong current flowing by, right? It's going by really, really fast. Now, when we get caught up in our anxious thinking, it's like jumping into the river and getting swept down, right, in the river, right? Because it's the currents are rolling, they're flying, right? So you want to swim to the other side, right? On the other side where you're not going to have any more of those thoughts, right? Well, with anxious thinking, we tend to jump into the river and get swept away in our thoughts, right? Which ends up creating more anxiety. But through mindfulness, if we can learn to sit on the bank of the river and observe the river flowing by, our thoughts, right, flowing by, our thoughts coming into our consciousness, almost like a cloud in the sky and floating by without us needing to latch onto it, do anything with it, even giving it a nod, recognizing, okay, I recognize that I'm feeling anxious right now, but without having to engage in it or feel the need to eliminate it or get rid of it, the very first thing that we do is we relieve that first layer of anxious thinking, right? The tension, because we want to get rid of it. So it starts by changing your mentality, right? From I need to get rid of my anxiety to I want to live comfortably with my anxiety. So that's step number one, because when we learn to say, you know what, I'm not gonna try to force this anxiety out, but instead I'm gonna sit on the bank of the river and I'm gonna watch it come and go, just like every other thought, every other emotion. We start to create a little bit of space between us and our anxiety, right? Or you create a little gap, a little bit of lightness, right? It can alleviate some of that tension in the body. The next thing that we need to do in order to improve our feelings, our symptoms of anxiety, is to meditate for 20 minutes a day. So if you are somebody that is experiencing anxiety or depression, what studies have shown is that you can significantly improve those symptoms just by meditating for 20 minutes over an 8-week time period. Now, for me, I'm a lifelong meditator. I've been meditating for the last 5 years, so I would recommend doing it for a longer period of time if you're up for it. But just 20 minutes of meditation has been found to significantly reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression and promote feelings of calm. And the best part is you don't have to know anything at all about meditation. You can download a guided app like Headspace, like Calm, like My Life, where there are instructors who have dedicated their lives to understanding meditation, who will guide you through a simple exercise. And I've been doing this for 5+ years. And I can tell you from personal experience that meditation is my number one tool to reduce my symptoms of anxiety. And through that practice, I've learned how to become mindful, create some distance between me, the running stream, right? The running thoughts, not latching onto them. And as a result, I live with basically low to no anxiety on a daily basis. It fluctuates, but low levels of anxiety. So today, I want you to focus on 20 minutes of meditation, starting to develop that skill of mindfulness. Remember that you are not alone. I'm here for you, and I'll talk to you in the next video.